What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Flagrant Talk Sports Podcast. It's me, Zay, here with my favorite co-host, Mr. Moses Famino.
What's going on, everybody?
And today, we got a staple on the channel. We got Around the Leagues. So we've got some college football for you. Big games this weekend. I don't think we've covered college football as a segment yet. So kind of excited to do that. We'll definitely have lots of college basketball as the season kind of unfolds with that. We have our thoughts on the in-season tournament, some surprise NBA teams kind of going with that, and then a discussion about if the Philadelphia Eagles are the team to be in the NFL. Mo, anything to add before we get started?
I'm just excited for this episode. Had a little Thanksgiving break off. Hope everyone enjoyed their breaks if they had them. And good to be back. But this is going to be a good video. I'm excited.
Yeah, we are excited. And so we're going to kick it off right away with some college football matchups. A big weekend that's going to have major playoff implications. So real quick, here are the big matchups. It's really an 8-team squabble for who is going to be the 4 teams to make the playoffs. We have number 1 Georgia going against number 8 Alabama, obviously in the SEC championship. Then we have number 2 Michigan versus number 16 Iowa. Number 3 UW versus number 5 Oregon, which the first time they played earlier this year, potentially game of the year for this season so far. It was an amazing matchup. Number 4 Florida State versus number 14 Louisville. Number 6 Ohio State versus nobody. So they're kind of a weird team in this mix. We'll get to them, but it's going to be interesting to see Ohio State's path.
For sure.
And then number 7 Texas versus number 18 Oklahoma State. So holy crap, man. Talk about some great matchups this weekend.
Man, I love football, bowl season, playoff season.
So
it's peak, man.
It is. So we've got a crazy crop of games. And so there's so many scenarios and there's so many articles you could look up that break down essentially how this will go. Here's some easy ones for anyone listening. If Georgia wins against Bama, they're in. That eliminates Bama, they're in. So that one basically clears 2 teams off if Georgia wins. If Bama wins, it gets a little murky.
It gets complicated, bro. It gets very complicated.
It gets murky. If number 2 Michigan beats number 16 Iowa, they're in. Michigan is in. Iowa's they don't have a claim to the playoffs, so they would love to be the team to knock Michigan off and have them not make the playoffs. Number 3 UW versus number 5 Oregon. Whew.
Dude.
Banger.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because if Oregon wins and they split the season series with UW, it gets real crazy because then what happens?
Right? They gotta be in, but I don't know, bro. I was just watching a couple things, learning a couple things.
Yeah.
Oregon and Washington, obviously Utah's in the Pac-12 as well.
Yeah.
Utah fell out of the top 25, so they lose a big ranked win for their resume. I just found that out. Yeah.
Great point.
So obviously I think the winner of the Pac-12 chip game's got to be in the top 4. But the committee probably definitely just wants Washington to win, so they don't have to.
Yeah,
because that gets very tough.
That's the crazy part. So I'm not even going to try to predict in this. I feel like us just going over how good this these games are. Like, it's really 8 teams fighting for their lives to make the playoffs.
That's the other thing, is it sucks that the expansion is next year.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if this was the first expansion year with these like 8 teams that are, it would be an unbelievable freaking playoff. But
absolutely. And
we're 1 year away.
1 year away, and the big team, you know, we'll cover the other ones, but Florida State at 4, so interesting because with Jordan Travis being hurt, everyone essentially wrote Florida State off. Like, you get it, you're undefeated, you're a really good team, but you're missing your Heisman caliber quarterback.
Yep.
For good reason, right? Like that's a valid reason to kind of write a team off.
For sure.
However, they did go and beat Florida in their last matchup, and it wasn't sexy, but they won.
Got it done.
And so it doesn't have to be sexy against Louisville either. It kind of feels like if they beat Louisville, though, they're in. Like, I feel like even with Jordan Travis not playing, if I'm a Seminoles fan, I'm pissed if I'm left out undefeated.
Yeah.
Like, especially if a one-loss team gets in over me. Like, if Oregon beats UW and bunny hops me,
there's no, that can't happen. There's like it as, oh dude, injuries suck, bro.
It's terrible.
Like, even full strength, obviously therefore I think they would have been the 4th best team in the playoffs. But they're that much better with them, obviously, as you said, Heisman caliber quarterback. I don't know, man. This is tough, bro.
It's it's mayhem. And then the weirdest team of this whole mix is Ohio State. Who can't get worse and they can't get better. They can't do anything to improve their resume, and they won't get hurt from anything. So they're kind of a team that's hoping Florida State loses. They lose to Louisville. And UW beats Oregon.
Yep.
UW beats Oregon, Michigan beats Iowa, and Georgia beats Bama. Because that knocks number 8 Bama off. That knocks number 5 Oregon off. Iowa doesn't have any stakes. Louisville doesn't have any stakes, but that knocks off Florida State. And that is Ohio State's path. Is like those top 3 teams win, and Florida State loses, and Oregon loses.
The other way I see them maybe sneaking in is if Michigan gets their doors blown off for some reason by Iowa. Iowa comes in, handles them. Even though Michigan beat Ohio State, you know, let's say Michigan and Florida State loses. Are you going to slide them in? Are you going to, like, it sucks not being in the chip game because you just have to sit back and hope and pray. But I don't know, man.
It's so interesting. And it's crazy, too, because, like, to your point, I like that you brought up Michigan because Georgia isn't safe. They're 1, and they're not a team where it's like if they lose to Bama handily, they're not safe as a one-loss team. So that's the thing. Bama is a team where we didn't really talk about them because we talked about Georgia, but they have to win. And they have to win in, I would say, dominant fashion. To have a case.
Here's what I got for you with Bama. They've had interesting year. Lots of close games that shouldn't have been close. Just an unusual year for Nick Saban and his team. Their whole season changed week 2 with their loss to Texas, who is the 7th ranked team. I'm wearing the orange. You got the orange in the background. If Bama wins, Texas, I think, because everyone's thinking if Bama wins, they're going to make the college football playoff, which I don't know if I agree with. Like,
no, you still need more help, in my opinion. I think even with the win. Yes.
Like, there'd be a 12-1 SEC champion. Like, that's a really good resume, but Texas would have to be in as well. They beat Bama. like it'd have to be a 2.
Yes.
They'd have to slot Texas in. If
Yeah.
Texas has to handle Oklahoma State, hope that Bama wins,
Mhm.
that's their path to the playoff. Like
Yep.
they knocked Bama out of the playoffs basically.
Exactly.
Because Bama was a 3 seed, dropped to like 10, I think, and then they've just been trying to claw back in, and they haven't been able to. They got an opportunity, but
yeah,
we'll see, man. It's just this whole year has been
crazy.
There's been so many little like things here and there that is like, oh wow, like that really impacted it. Yeah, like early on to week 2, bro. Like
yes, it's I mean, and as you talked about with Bama, like the whole quarterback situation going like into this previous offseason, and then all through it was like they haven't named a starter.
Yeah,
they haven't named a starter. We don't know who it is. And then through the season, it's kind of been like a figuring it kind of out as the season unfolds. So it's so crazy because, yeah, if Texas wins and beats Oklahoma State, one quality win, that's a top 20 victory.
Yep.
And if Bama wins and beats Georgia, Texas, the Longhorns are going to say, well, we beat Bama.
We gotta be in.
You can't have them over us. Yeah, like by default, we have to edge them out if it's, somehow between the both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder, though, and I'm kind of curious your take on this, with a team like Florida State, where they have the record, but they're missing their Heisman caliber QB.
Mm-hmm.
If they beat Louisville, right? And to me, that means they're in. I don't think it really matters what happens with other teams. I think if they win, they're in, you're undefeated. So you edge out all the one-loss teams.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder for the committee how much thought is put into letting them in because of what we saw last year with TCU at 4, where they got in as a quality team, but there were those conversations about they're not good enough to be in, and they're going to get smacked around if they do make it. And they did. And this isn't me trying to crap on TCU, but I do wonder if the committee goes, okay, Florida State is a good team, but a big reason why they were so good isn't on the field.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I think the committee they're obviously can't say anything and nothing will come out. I think a piece of them is hoping Florida State loses.
I have to like Florida State's been the team that's been talked about the most this entire like for weeks. Like they shouldn't, like people were like, oh, UW should be over them like a couple weeks ago. Like they've been that team that people have been like, they're on the bubble, man. Like I don't know if they're good, they're undefeated, but should they be a playoff team? Like it's tough, man. I don't really see a scenario where Louisville beats them, but if it happens, chaos. It's I don't chaos. Know. Yeah.
I obviously, if you're an Oregon fan, you need a win, and you need a Florida. If an Oregon win and a Florida State loss, I think puts them in. I think that locks them. But I do think the committee, the exciting thing about expansion, but kind of what we're seeing now with 4 teams is like usually the 1v4 matchup has not been pretty. It hasn't been a fun game across like years. Like this
is
just
crazy. No, like
it's 1v4. Like it's not like it's 1v even 25.
16.
Like no, it's like no, that should be a good game, but it's not. It hasn't been a good product. So I do think the committee is sort of hoping that maybe you'd rather have Bo Nix in there with Oregon or something like that. I don't know, but it's going to be a crazy weekend, and I can't wait to watch it.
I'm glad that I get to sit on the couch and watch it all unfold and not have to worry about making those decisions because I don't know how they do it, bro. I don't know if I could do all that, deal with all the people. Yeah. Oh, man.
No,
it's just tough.
It would be terrible, but we're about to see. We're only a couple days away from seeing just how crazy it's going to be here at the final couple weeks of the season.
Excited. Just a little plug for Boise State. Not going to be anywhere near anything, but Mountain West Championship game snuck on in due to some computer analytics. There was like a 3-way tie. We made it in Mickey season, but
love it.
carrying the conference for a few years now. I guess earn a little respect, give us a shot at another title. So
love it.
go Broncos.
Let's go. Go Broncos, baby. Yep. Broncos country. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Yep.
So that's your college football segment. I'm so happy we were able to dive into that.
That was sick. Yeah.
That's been one I've kind of been itching to talk about a little bit.
Yeah.
The next one, moving over to the NBA, the in-season tournament. We haven't really had the time to talk about our overall thoughts on the tournament. So now that we've kind of seen how it works, some of the point differential stuff and the arguments that have kind of broken out about that. Obviously, it's not done yet. We're about to see the knockout rounds, things like that, quarterfinals, the 4 teams in the East, the 4 teams in the West face off. And we will have our own bracket about that in our next video. So there's a little plug there. But
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. But Mo, I'm kind of curious, what are your thoughts so far on the in-season tournament? Has it kind of like, have you enjoyed it? Is it kind of for you? Do you not really care? What do you think?
I personally am a fan. Obviously, first year, there's going to be some things that are a little iffy, a little unorthodox that might need to be changed. You know, the point differential thing has been a big thing that's been talked about. But personally, I don't know, bro. I feel like I don't really see how else they would structure it. Like, honestly, because obviously, like, soccer does tournaments, but there's draws in soccer and they do point systems. And the draws that you can't just do like 2 points for a win, 0 points for a loss. And it's just, there's no draws in basketball. It's not really going to work out. There's going to be ties still. So
exactly.
I don't really know what people want them to do instead of point differential. I don't know if you've really put any thought into that, but personally, I don't have a problem with it, and I'm excited for the actual tournament play. The group play was cool. Get to see the cool courts and all that. Players kind of amped up, but the actual tournament, I think, starting Monday.
Yes.
Next Monday. Yep. I think it's going to be really exciting. So I've been a fan. Say, what about you?
So I went into the in-season tournament, I think like 99% of people confused.
Yes, I had no idea what was going on.
Listen, like
they didn't do a good job of explaining it.
No, and I think that is one of the biggest detriments just from like the NBA's marketing standpoint is it was so overly complicated. And then when you just watch the games unfold, like you're in a group, you got to win. The team with the best record gets in and makes it. Or if you tie for records, it's point differential. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But the way that they explained it, you're like, wait, so they have to, what's a wild card? Like, I know what a wild card is.
Yeah.
But why are you labeling it that way? It was just so overly complicated.
No, it was bad, dude. I remember reading like the ESPN, the NBA.com like official thing, and I was like, why is this an essay, bro?
Yes.
Like,
is this
what is going
I felt like I was reading a different language where I'm like, I can pick up some words.
Yeah.
I don't understand what all you're saying. And so seeing it unfold, it's been like, oh, this is really easy to understand. Like, it's really basic. So I've really enjoyed it. And my thing is like, there's no negative to having more excitement in the months of November and December of an NBA season because, you know, we're not casual fans. We watch a lot of basketball, but for casual fans, they're like, yeah, I'll tune in to some primetime, some good TNT, ESPN games, and then I'll see you in April for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like that's how a lot of casual ball fans are.
That's fair. That's fine.
Totally. Where this gives them a reason to be like, hey, tune in now and you get kind of a sneak preview of the finals. Who knows? Oh, here's the hot teams in November and December. Will they still be hot in April? Things like that. I don't see how that could ever be a bad thing. Like,
You explaining, I love it, dude. You're opening, like, that's sick.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a cool. It's not perfect,
yep,
and we're kind of seeing that, but I think the skeleton of the idea is actually really solid.
for sure.
I love that you brought up the point differential thing.
Yeah.
Because my question for anyone who hates the point differential thing, doesn't like teams fouling when they're up 30, who doesn't like things like that, who doesn't like hack a Drummond, yeah, doing stuff like that. My question then, what is your solution?
I
Because
can't think of one.
I can't either, because like you said with soccer, there's ties, there's things like that kind of make it a little bit easier where you can keep the like integrity of the game.
Yes.
I really don't see another solution. I'm not a genius, so I'm not going to be the one to come up with one.
Yep, there probably is one out there. There normally is a solution to most things.
Yes, but
I
for right now
can't process that. So
yeah, I can't think of one where I'm like, oh, this is why are they doing point differential? They should do this.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And I think kind of the last point I want to bring up and that I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts about is the coolest thing about covering this in its first year for us is I wonder how much weight this is going to hold this year for the team that wins the in-season cup and in 25 years from now.
Yeah.
Is it going to be looked at as like, oh my goodness, the Lakers won the in-season cup. We're so good. Whatever. We're coming for the finals. We're winning both. This is so big.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be like, cool, like that's nice.
You guys tried at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
it was cute.
Doesn't hold a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But cool. Like, congrats, you still won an in-season tournament. Or is it going to be like right below the finals where it's like, oh my goodness, everyone's getting together, they're loving it. I'm just so curious to see how it evolves. So
yeah.
I think the fact we're covering this year one is really dope.
It's sick. What was I just gonna say? Gosh dang it. Talk, dude. Man, I had a good point. My bad. I had a
no.
point.
You're good. Just thinking about like the in-season tournament and how it's gonna evolve and how in 25 years from now, like it's
dude. Guys, I'm sorry. I have a lot of stuff going on. I got a big prezi going. There's a lot going on up here. I had a good point. Forgot
it'll come back.
It'll come back eventually.
And if it comes back randomly in the middle of your presentation, we'll bring it into the other video.
Yep.
So it'll be perfect.
So stay tuned to Monday for that too.
Yeah, to see if it unfolds and if Mo remembers.
If he can remember.
But yeah, I think it's been fun. I really think the only other solution is if you make it a 30-team March Madness style bracket. That's the only way. If you don't like point differential, which for me I don't care.
Yeah.
I think it's the best you've got. Making it a March Madness style tournament could be fun with all 30 teams making it.
I was about to say maybe in the future, like not grouping it by conference, so maybe having if they continue to do groups, having it be all 30 like just a randomizer of every team. I feel like would be kind of sick.
The only, I guess, as I talk it through, the only issue is how do you line that up in a schedule?
True.
Because if you lose game one, you're then going to end up playing less games than the team that wins the chip in the regular season.
True. That could be, true.
And so then you'd have to have like a loser's bracket to keep everyone.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
But the only game that doesn't count is the championship game.
Yes.
Oh, so it's one extra game.
Yes.
Dude, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, what is the prize? Is it just money? It's just money for the team and players?
Yes. Coaches, players each get $500,000.
Oh, wow.
A piece.
Nothing for like the team though, for like cap or like fine. It's just players.
They get a cup.
Coaches.
They get the trophy.
The trophy and the Wikipedia. All right, sick.
Yeah, they get to add it to their
organization. I mean, right now I'm just saying sick, but as you said, maybe in 25 years, it's sick. Like
that's the
dope.
thing. It's like,
yeah.
Is it going to be like, oh my God, like the Lakers won the first in-season cup. It's massive. It's da-da-da-da-da. Or is it going to be like the in-season cup and it isn't around in 25 years and fans will be like, what the hell?
Why did they try
what
that?
Is this?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, what is an in-season cup? Yeah, Dad, what the I'm looking through the Lakers Wikipedia. What the hell is an in-season cup? And it's like, I'm not gonna explain it to you, bro.
You're too young for that, bro.
Yeah, it's too late. So yeah, I'm excited. Anything to amp up the interest of NBA basketball in November and December, I'm for. So
why not?
Exactly. So staying on the NBA thing real quick, there's two teams that Mo and I want to talk about that didn't make the in-season tournament, but that have been hot to start this year. Surprisingly hot. Like
ridiculous.
One out east and one out west. We have the Orlando Magic out east as the 2 seed. The 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, who the Celtics barely kicked out of the in-season tournament. So barely. Magic fans, I'm sorry. And the Minnesota Timberwolves out west, who are the 1 seed.
Okay, so I'm going to start this off with, I was wrong.
Oh, wow.
I believe if it wasn't a play-in team, I had Minnesota not in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm sure. I don't think I had them in the playoffs because I was like, Cat and Rudy aren't going to work out still again. And I know Ant's good, but Ant hasn't just been good. Ant has been sensational.
Yes.
Nas Reed's got fan accounts. Like, bro, like
best parts of this year, man.
Like, bro, some girl named her cat Nas Reed and said it on Jeopardy. Like,
are you what?
Dude, I just saw that clip yesterday. Some girl named her cat Nas Reed and was talking about, on Jeopardy how they that was her like connection to everyone. I named my cat Nas Reed.
That is amazing.
Like, dude,
that is seriously amazing.
So I am gonna say I'm wrong. I messed up. The Timberwolves they're legit, man. I still don't think they're this legit. I don't know if this is sustainable. Being the 1 seed.
It's incredible that they're even in the spot almost 20 games into the season. Like, so the big thing for me is I had the Timberwolves as a play-in team. I don't remember what seed. I want to say either 8 or 9. And I believed in Anthony Edwards, but similar to you, like I wasn't sold on Cat and Rudy working out. And there's still a chance that Cat gets moved, maybe not this deadline because of how they're doing good. So a lot of the people who expected a deadline move, they're the 1 seed in the West. I wouldn't be rushing to make a move. But maybe this offseason, if they have like a disappointing playoffs, they lose in the first round, they go, nah, we'll still shake things up. The Timberwolves have just been amazing. Like you said, with Ant playing at an MVP level, one of the most fun players in the entire league as a personality and as a ball player. Like
100%.
He is so entertaining to watch. So Timberwolves have exceeded my expectations and honestly everyone else's, because even the people that had them in the playoffs, how many had them as a 1 seed 18 to 20 games into the year?
I'm sure Timberwolves fans even knew, like, bro, well, we'll probably make the playoffs. We'll probably maybe be a play, but the 1 seed above. Obviously, Nuggets, Jamal Murray was out. That's tough. Big part of their team just came back last night. They look good, but that still doesn't have anything to do with the Timberwolves and how their team is playing. So all you can do is beat the teams in front of you. You can't control injuries for your team or other teams. So the fact that the Timberwolves are in this spot, it's great for them, and I think it's great for the league. And the other team
the Orlando Magic out east with the 2 seed, man. 2 younger teams with younger stars that are getting it done.
Dude, Franz Wagner is the Magic's leading scorer.
Yeah.
This year, 20-some.
Yeah.
He's just been balling, bro.
Yeah.
Like I knew he was solid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, is this legit, Zay? Like, do you think this is just a good start to the season? Or do you think, I don't know. Paulo's been doing great.
Yeah.
Cole Anthony's been stepping up. But
yes. Yeah.
Franz Wagner, bro, has been like, I've been like, bro, what is going on? Like, I was watching the highlights last night. He would step back.
Yeah.
Just not dunking on people, but just driving past people, back cuts, slant, just like he's just playing great basketball.
Yeah. Yes. So I think to answer your question about if it's sustainable, I'm going to say if it's sustainable enough to make them get into the playoffs, I would say yes.
Yeah.
I think they can be at minimum, they've proven they're a playing team. At minimum. Like 7 through 10 seed is totally realistic. I think it might even be sustainable for them to be like a 6 seed and skip the play-ins altogether.
Yeah, if they can stay afloat, not go on a huge L streak, just kind of stay, so from now on, they could definitely avoid the play-in. I agree. Yeah.
And I think, this offseason when we talked about like projecting playoff teams, I want to say I think I had the Magic at 10 or 11. I either had them just in or just out.
I know I had them out, but I was like, they're young, they could, but I just didn't think. I thought it was a year or 2 or something, but
and I think the big thing was because so much of the could they make the playoffs was based off of projections. Like, okay, well, if they're going to get in, Paulo's going to take a massive step. If they're going to get in, Franz Wagner's going to take a massive step. If they're going to get in, all their guards are going to play well. Mo Wagner's going to be a really, really good backup big man. They'll da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, that's a lot of what ifs to put into a team making the playoffs that for me, it was too many.
I'm out. Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yep.
I was wrong, and I'll happily admit that because the Magic have been one of the most fun teams to watch this year. And like you said, it's not like Paulo is putting up 25 a game. I don't even know if he's putting up 20. It might be just underneath it the same way Franz
it's like
Wagner.
19. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like you would think if the Magic were this good, it's because Paulo's putting up 30 a game, Franz Wagner's putting up 25 a game, and that's not the case. They're still playing good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Cole Anthony is playing really good and got that extension. Jalen Suggs, the heart, and he is one of those players you watch play and you appreciate him so much more than if you just look at a stat sheet.
100%.
He had like 22.
Yeah.
So even
off
if you
the bench,
yes, so it's like it's one of those things where it's like it's a full team developing, and that is why I believe in it more than if it was just Paulo balling like 30 a game and stuff like that. Their whole team's playing great, and I'm a Magic fan this year, man. I want to see them keep going.
It just kind of shows like obviously they've been young, they've been struggling for a while, honestly, ever since I think Dwight Howard left. They haven't really done anything. So I just kind of shows that players and energy and that like they didn't get it. Do they have a new coach this year? Or is it this like I don't that's what I'm saying. Like
no
players, energy, that flip teams can turn it on. Like you don't need a big free agent. Obviously that stuff helps.
Of course.
Your guys buy in, your team can do freaking anything, bro. And the Magic are just showing it right now.
Yeah. It's another proof of we've talked about it in the NFL with Bryce Young, but it's letting players and young across sports the time to develop and nurture and work on their game and figure out what it's like to win in the league.
Yep.
So quick to write teams off. And the
100%.
Magic are proven like, hey, we're here and we're not
still
going
here. We're good, bro. Yeah. Just give us a second.
Yes. So Magic and Timberwolves, just want to give love to them since we're not going to talk about them in this in-season tournament. They absolutely deserve to be talked about, though. So congrats to both those teams.
Yup.
The final segment, the last one, the Eagles obviously knocking off the Chiefs. They've got a big matchup this weekend against the Niners, who are healthy. So it's not going to be like last year's playoff game, which was a disaster. I mean, the Niners, their quarterbacks all got hurt. They were running plays with C-Mac at QB.
Yeah, bro.
It was a mess. And
it was messy.
It didn't really live up to the hype because of obviously injury, where this regular season game, both sides healthy. Mo, just flat out, do you think the Eagles are the team to beat in the NFL?
I'm going to say yes, with a half an asterisk. They've won their last 4 games after being down at halftime in all 4.
Crazy.
Insane. But they got the 49ers this week. They got the Cowboys next week. If they are down at half in those 2 games, I don't know if they're coming back.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think the Eagles are best team in the league. They've made the plays in the biggest moments when needed. You know, people have been talking about, oh, you can't write off the Chiefs, man. Like they just because they dropped a pass here and there, like they would have beat the Eagles. Well, they didn't beat the Eagles. They dropped a pass, man. So the Eagles are the best team, but they gotta lock it in, stop having these bad first halves, and we're gonna see what they're really made of these next 2 weeks. So
yeah. I agree with a lot of what you said, just in terms of they've been one of those teams where their schedule was so difficult that I believe we both had them as the 1 seed in the NFC back this offseason.
We did, yeah.
But it's still one of those things where it's like Eagles have had a hard schedule and they've beaten all the teams in front of them. And I think Kansas City was that team, obviously, with Mahomes, where it's like, hey, you got to beat them. They're the kryptonite of the league, not just Philly. So for them to beat them, drop or not from MVS, doesn't matter. A win is a win.
Huge.
If he drops that pass in the Super Bowl, the Eagles still win it. So, you know, I think the Eagles are the team to beat so far, but we got a lot of football left, man. It's not over.
I heard something interesting the other day, and I kind of just wanted to hear your take on it. Obviously, quarterbacks in the NFC East. Jalen Hurts won. Dak 2. Purdy 3? Or who's 3? Is there a third? Well,
for what, the East or
NFC? NFC in general.
Okay. I was like, wait a second, am I tripping?
This is just a little. I think so, because I probably would have. I might have had Kirk, but now that he's injured.
Yeah, now that he's out, damn. I think there's Geno is obviously in that mix. He's had a kind of shaky year, but like not a bad one, and he's started to kind of get it going. Yeah, I think if someone said Purdy is 3,
him or Goff might be.
Goff, and even he is coming off kind of a stretch of like weird games.
Yeah.
I don't know. And again, the real quick about Purdy, everyone is so quick to be like, oh, if he didn't have the weapons he did, you could say that about anyone. That argument, oh my God. Sorry.
So I wanted to kind of reinvent if, let's say, Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott was the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh my God.
Best team in the league, not even right? Okay. That's all I want to say. No hate against Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy is a great quarterback.
No.
Unbelievable.
I love the way you set that up, though, because that made it clear we're not disrespecting him at all.
Yes.
At all. And
I just heard a couple, I was like, you know what? Yeah, that is kind of.
And again, Hurts, like, just casual fans being like, oh my God, look at his stats. He's not. It's like, dude, watch the throws he's making.
He's a winner. He wins football games.
I would say are probably the team to be in the league as of right now. And we'll see when playoffs come around.
I have to agree.
So that's that. That's the video. So we got the song of the pod to wrap it up. Mo, what do you got for the people going into this weekend?
Zay, I'm actually a sell and don't have mine ready. Would you like to go first?
I got you.
I apologize. It's been out the game for a little bit.
We got Kitchen by Kid Cudi.
Oh my gosh.
Is the one I got. Love that song. So good. That's like Pete Cudi harmonizing. Beautiful song. Love it. So that's the one we got this weekend.
I love that, Zay. I love Kitchen, bro. Not that many people know Kitchen either.
Banger.
Action Pain and Demon Slaying is a fire.
Underrated.
I don't care what anybody says.
Agreed. I agree.
That being said, I'm gonna go with a little bit of an oldie, not too old for my a little youngin. I don't know, 2014, Young Mo, chilling. That Power by Childish Gambino.
Classic.
I hadn't heard it in a while. It came up on my shuffle yesterday, and the instrumental from the end when he's just talking about summer camp and this girl, and it's just I love that instrumental. I could listen to that all day. So,
absolutely,
great,
absolutely,
song. Great, song.
Love it. Great pick. So that's it. That's the vid. Enjoy some amazing sports this weekend, and we will be back with our in-season tournament bracket in the next video.
We'll see y'all soon.
Catch y'all. Love y'all. Take care.
Appreciate it.
And peace.
Later.